Hey, this is Mr. Evilcheese Customs.
Hey, this is Mr. Evilcheese, and I'm here to show you the latest figure that I customized. And this figure would be McFarlane Toys Michonne from The Walking Dead episode 12 of season 3, the episode that was titled Clear. This is the outfit that she wore in that episode, along with the little cat statue that makes an appearance. And I did a little more than just modifying the paint job on this. I actually did some sculpting, and I'll show that after I go over the figure a little bit. Okay, so here's a little comparison of the original Michonne right here on the right, and then the one that I made from the episode Clear. And you can see I made a few changes. Like I painted her pants more of a gray color instead of this blue, which I don't even remember it ever being blue, but whatever, man. And yeah, the shirt, obviously I painted it to look like this shirt on the show. And instead of just painting it, I actually did some sculpting and grinding with the freaking Dremel and shit like that. But yeah, like I said, I'll go over how I made it exactly. And as you can see, like she had a vest on. Now I just try to turn it into a shirt. And I kind of added some little details to her belt. She usually has a belt with little sequins in it, so I kind of painted them on there. And her boots are black with like silver studs on them, so I don't know why they made them this brown color. Maybe she did have some brown ones and then she switched it to black, I don't know, but I made them black. I think it looks a lot better with the black and the silver studs showing. I think it looks pretty sweet. So she can still move around, although if you move her too much, that little line doesn't line up anymore. But lots of toys do that, so whatever. Now, I also had to sculpt her boobs in there a little bit, because when you cut off this, this jacket, it kind of looks funny, like there's an empty space down there, so I actually had to sculpt breasts in just slightly. So, I don't know, that was one of my favorite episodes of the season. It really made, I think, Michonne a little more likable to some of the people who just didn't get her character. Which I loved her character from the beginning, even though she's extra super distrusting. But I think she has good reason to be. They just haven't explained it all yet. You've probably seen the little accessory there at the beginning that I made. It's her little rainbow cat decoration, statue, whatever you want to call it. Almost looks like a pinata. But yeah, that appears in the episode when she goes back into the bar to get the picture for Carl. That's bar's full of walkers. She comes back out, has this hidden behind her back, and then shows it to Carl and actually smiles a good bit for a change. She makes a joke. One thing that's kind of funny though is if you put the cat in her hand, she still got that angry look on her face, so you don't really get that effect of her being like, I found this gorgeous cat. I also think I might have made it just a little bit too big, because it's a decent size on the show, like in the picture there. But I think I might have just made it a little too big, but so what? It's pretty close. Also, I kind of had to guess on the front of this cat where the paint is, because you get the view of the back of it, which I've tried to make as close as I could get using the pictures, but you don't really get to see the front of it very much. So the paint might be off, but so what? Just it's a multicolored cat. Does it really matter? Alright, I'm going to show you now how I made this figure. And first I'll show you the tools and materials that I used. Obviously I used the McFarlane Toys Michonne as the base. And I also used Aves Epoxy Sculpt. And these two bottles come together and you mix equal parts together to create the sculpty. So here's my scalpel, and I use this to cut off small parts and sometimes sculpt a little bit too. Here's a few other various sculpting tools that I use. This one right here is freaking sharp. It's kind of hard to tell because there's some sculpty stuck on the end, but that thing is really sharp, and I've poked myself in the hand pretty hard a couple times now, just because it slips and jabs me in the finger. Freaking hurts, man. And here is the Dremel. I use this a lot. Here's some of the Dremel parts. I use this piece to cut like parts off, and I use this piece is like a sander and a grinder, and I use this thing to kind of smooth out the parts that I've sanded. The first thing I did was I took my scalpel and cut off the pockets and a couple of the little seams, and then grinded it down with the Dremel. Then I used a hair dryer to pop her apart so that I could paint the white on, because it's a little too difficult to get the paintbrush up underneath without popping it apart. As you can see, I sculpted a little bit like on her jacket where it splits to turn into a shirt instead of a jacket. I also popped her head off because it's going to be too hard to paint the jacket the orange color with her hair there. It's going to get all over the hair and it's going to be a mess, so I popped her head off too using a hair dryer. Now I got the orange painted on. However, I'm not too happy with it at this point because it's kind of messy in the middle of the shirt, and then some of the seams are still a little too big. Like they're just too noticeable, so I'm going to grind them off. I haven't painted the back yet. Okay, there I took the Dremel and grinded off the front there again, grinded off that zipper that was there. And I tried to grind off the like stitching that was on her sides. But you can see the hole, like the gap that's going to be left in there because I removed the jacket, so that's why I had to sculpt the boobs in there, which I haven't done yet on this. Here's my second attempt at sculpting it, and you can see it's solid now. Only thing I wish I would have fixed was it's kind of, sticking out. It should have been going in instead of sticking out. But that's the way it is now, so whatever, man, it's staying. And here I grind off a little more of the seams and everything, just a little better. Okay, now I painted over the spot that I dremeled. I went over everything that I screwed up again. And I also grinded off on the top around her shoulders because it's supposed to be her skin there for this type shirt. And here's the bottom painted. You can see I painted the little sequins on her belt. It's kind of sloppy up close, this close, but from a distance it looks pretty good. And there's the boots, which I think turned out pretty cool. Got them studs and everything in there. I think the black looks better. I mean, they're supposed to be black anyway. I don't know, I like it. Here I painted the skin color up around her shoulders where the shirt used to be purple, and I was able to match the color pretty well, I think. I didn't think I'd be able to get it that close, but I don't know, I think it looks pretty close. It's a little rough. And there's a comparison. You can see where it used to be purple, the purple shirt, where I grinded it off. Yeah, I think it worked out alright. And there's a comparison of where I sculpted in the boobs. You can see, and I tried to make it look like she had like maybe a black undershirt, because there is a black undershirt in some of the pictures that's underneath this orange one. Here's Michonne's little multicolored cat statue when I first sculpted it. It's a little rough. This is before I kind of grinded off and sanded the details a little bit. And so there she is once again, complete. After I put her all back together and she's got her little cat painted up. I think it turned out really nice. Like I said, there's a few things that bother me that I did, like how the shirt sticks out a little bit. But I think it works. The cat could be a little smaller too. So thanks for watching. This is Mr. Evilcheese. And yeah, go check out some other videos, man. I have some other customs. I'll put them at the end here probably. Also, because I think Michonne is so awesome, I made a Facebook page that's all about Michonne, called Michonne, the zombie killing badass motherfucker. Although I abbreviated that as BAMF. And I'll put the link down there in the bottom and in the info if you want to go check that out and like it. You should, because yeah, damn it. Or you could subscribe, or click on one of those pictures up there and you can see the review for it. I got the Walking Dead reviews and things on the left, and that column all the way on the right is a couple other customs that I made. Except for the blade one, my wife made that amazing blade custom there.